3 green hours in a row brings us up to 89k overall and continues our strong start to the season. I went against Erling Haaland on the captaincy last week and it was the correct decision, although it didn't pay off massively with Saka coming away with DEFCON right at the death, but I was dreaming of a haul when I was live at the Emirates on Sunday. I definitely won't be going against him at the Ironman this week with Man City at home to Leeds, so I've got a big decision to make whether to use a triple captaincy or lock in my free hit chip this week. In today's video I'm going to show you my team selection ahead of the Game Week 13 deadline. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. What is up everyone, how's it going? FPL Era here and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. 70 likes on the video is the goal as always, and if you have any questions ahead of the Game Week 13 deadline, whether you're thinking about using your triple captaincy, whether you're thinking about using your free hit, or whether you have no chips left and you need help with your transfers, drop your questions in the comments below. We are also on the road to 10k subs, so if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you at? Head on down there, click subscribe on the channel and help me to reach that milestone. Right, we're going to take a quick look back at the Game Week 12 deadline, so if you don't care how I got on last week, this is your warning to wind on towards the end of the video and see whether I'm looking to free hit or use my triple captaincy this week. Anyway, 45 points of the week wasn't a bad score at all. We did manage a green arrow. A lot of blanks in the team though, so I'm glad I did get the green arrow. Only 3k green arrow, but we're going to start off with the captaincy. Watching Haaland blank on Saturday, I was absolutely over the moon. I was going to the Arsenal game on Sunday, looking forward to seeing a Saka haul. Long story short, 4 goals for Arsenal. We all know how he played out. 4 goals for Arsenal. No involvement for Saka at all. He had a couple of half chances. A shot on target in the first half from a free kick. And then Vicario denied him in the second half with another shot on target. And then right at the end when Eze was going for his hat-trick, I was hoping he could have squared it to Saka. He didn't. And of course Eze got his hat-trick, and then right at the end Saka squared it to Eze and Eze could have got his 4th goal, but I didn't care about Eze. I just wanted my Saka return and I didn't get it. At least he did get DEFCON though. Do we count that as a return on the captaincy? I don't think we do, but at least he returned more than Haaland. 8 points from the Armad was fairly disappointing. All that going through the teams there, blank after blank after blank. The only main returner last week was Munoz. Goal, a clean sheet, and all 3 bonus points for a 14-point return. And then I'm going to shout out my man Mukalele, which could be an all-important 4 points at the end of the season. Semenyo was left out of that Bournemouth squad completely with an illness. In comes Mukalele with a 4-pointer after picking up DEFCON. He was so close to getting a clean sheet. Fulham score him in the last couple of minutes, but we won't give out about him at all. 4 points. I was happy enough with the 4 points considering how bad of a week it was. All that matters is we got a green arrow and we're sitting at 89k overall. Let's move on now and start planning ahead for Game Week 13, and let's see if I'm looking to use my triple captaincy or lock in my free hit team. Right then, no messing about, let's get straight into it. We've got a big decision to make this week, whether we're going to activate our free hit or whether we're going to activate our triple captaincy this week. This is option 1 here. This is with the triple captaincy active. Of course it's going to be on Erling Haaland at home to Leeds. If I was picking a fixture in the first half of the season, I'd be eyeing up that Leeds fixture at home. I'm expecting at least 2 returns for Haaland, so if you've already used your free hit, I'd be definitely eyeing up the triple captaincy on Haaland this week. Going through the rest of the team then, so going into Game Week 13, if I don't use my free hit, I have got 2 free transfers available. I'm not really sure where I would use these 2 free transfers. Maybe, just maybe, taking out Sarr and then bringing in Minta. He's in fine form at the moment. But rest of the team there, I can't really get to Gakpo without taking out Semenyo. But Semenyo should be back, or is expected to be back. It sounds like he was back in training this week. But going through the rest of the team, it's not ideal how we're lining up this week. Raya at home, or sorry, away from home against Chelsea. Chelsea, 5 wins in their last 6 games. No clean sheet for Arsenal in their last 2 games. So I'm not that confident of an Arsenal clean sheet. Fair enough, that Richarlison goal is a free goal in the North London derby on Sunday. But if I was using my free hit, I probably would be going against the Arsenal defence, but we'll chat about that later on in the video. Then in the back line, then are going through my Crystal Palace players. I've got, well, even including Bruno Fernandes in this, I've got 4 players involved in that Crystal Palace and Man United game, which is far from ideal. Virgil away to West Ham is a decent pick, to be fair. They have just conceded 4 goals against PSV tonight in the Champions League, so maybe I want to get rid of Van Dijk altogether if I'm free hitting. Senesi away to Sunderland. Sunderland are in good form at home, so I wouldn't be that confident, especially considering Bournemouth's defensive stats this season. I wouldn't be that confident of a Bournemouth clean sheet. Then going through the rest of the midfield then, and Ndiaye at home to Newcastle. Newcastle just off the back of beating City at the weekend, so I wouldn't be that confident of an Ndiaye return, especially considering he's blanked in his last 2 games. Saka away to Chelsea. No return for Saka in the North London derby. He is on penalties also, so fair enough. If I do get rid of Saka, I wouldn't be too surprised if he does come away with a return in that game at the Bridge. And then up front, Mateta has far from impressed. An early substitution coming off just before the 60th minute last week. So going through the team, we have a few hiccups in my current team. Triple Palace and Bruno Fernandes in that one game is far from ideal. Arsenal defend away to Chelsea. I'm not that confident of a clean sheet there. Even the back three, fair enough, Van Dijk should get his clean sheet against West Ham, but definitely not confident of Munoz or Senesi getting a clean sheet this week. Munoz, there's always a chance Munoz can come away with an attacking return. The only thing about triple captain and Haaland is I do expect him to get at least 2 returns in this game. So if I do free hit, it's going to be a hard watch, hoping Haaland blanks in this game. But looking at it on paper, I was originally planning to free hit in game week 15. Man United away to Wolves, so Bruno Fernandes is fine in that week. Even Crystal Palace away to Fulham, my triple Crystal Palace is fine in that game too. And then Ndiaye is at home to Nottingham Forest. When you compare it to game week 13 free hit, maybe it's best if I do look towards taking out my Crystal Palace lads, Bruno Fernandes also Ndiaye, and then stocking up on Brentford, Man City, Villa and Liverpool assets and activating my free hit. So that's enough chat about the triple captaincy. Let's move on to the free hit chat. And at the time of this recording, I'm probably leaning towards more using my free hit this week. So if it was activated before the deadline, this is how I'll be shaping up. We're going to start off with the defence. I've gone for 2 Aston Villa defenders at home to Wolves. Wolves are in dire straits at the moment. No goal for Wolves in their last 3 games. Sitting bottom of the table on 2 points. So they're very much in bother. And I'm fairly confident of Aston Villa getting a clean sheet this week. So that's why I'm on the double up alongside Martinez going with Matty Cash. He gives us an additional bonus of some attacking threat with 2 goals for him so far this season. Next up in the defence, I've gone for Nico Riley of Man City at home to Leeds. I definitely want a Man City defender with that home fixture. And to be honest with you, Nico Riley alongside Matty Cash offers some good attacking threat with a goal and 2 assists this season. The good thing about the Man City game is it is just before the deadline. So there's some good chance we do get some team leaks before the deadline. So if it does sound like Nico Riley isn't going to start, I can easily sub in another Man City defender, maybe the likes of a Mateus Nunes for more security of minutes. But I do think Nico Riley should be fine to start with 8 starts in his last 9 games in the Premier League. Finishing off my defence then is Van Dijk away to West Ham. As I said, Liverpool have just conceded 4 away to PSV. So with Liverpool's defensive form, maybe you just forget about Van Dijk completely and maybe look towards some Brentford defenders. Maybe Nathan Collins, my Irish counterpart. With Man City, Aston Villa and Brentford, the favourites for a clean sheet this week, maybe I'd just go all in on that and hope for some clean sheets. So looking at my 5-man midfield, we're going to start off with Phil Foden, and similarly to Nico Riley, the good thing about the Man City game is the fact it's right before the deadline, so there should be some team news or team leaks before the deadline. So Foden is set to start. He'll be locked into my free hit team. I think he can do very well in that Leeds game. Fair enough, he's only got 1 goal and 1 assist all season, but he's knocking. He should have scored against Newcastle last week. I think this is the week he can get a nice haul and City can get amongst the goals. Looking at Foden then as well, if he is set to be subbed, I can probably look towards Doku for a nice little punt on the free hit also. But another nice little differential is Kevin Shade of Brentford, only owned by 1.3% of managers in the game. I expect his ownership to rise with a lot of managers on free hit this week. And after Thiago, he's definitely Brentford's next best attacker in the game. 3 goals and 2 assists this season. I do expect Brentford to get a couple of goals in that Burnley game. So if it's not Thiago, I do expect Kevin Shade to be involved. And then on to Morgan Rogers, similar to Kevin Shade. 3 goals and 2 assists for Rodgers. Fair enough, he got 2 goals last week against Leeds. I think this is a fixture Villa can do well in, and let's see if Rodgers can get amongst returns. He's another differential under 10% ownership, so I'd be very much thankful if he could come away with a return, since he didn't get me some returns when I had him himself and Watkins earlier on the season. And finishing off my midfield, Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo. The good thing about Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo, and to be honest, the good thing about the free hit completely, if you look through my midfield there, they're pretty much all just 1 week punts. So then I can have a punt in them for 1 week and then swap back to my original team. But I do expect Liverpool to bounce back. They've got a big defeat tonight now in the Champions League. Arne Slot is in serious bother. So if Liverpool do lose that game, or probably even if they draw against West Ham on Sunday, surely expect Slot to be showing the door. With Salah's minutes, he's going to be fine. But looking at Gakpo, there is a question mark around his security of minutes for that West Ham game. If I do feel hesitant on going with Gakpo, I could probably downgrade him to Szoboszlai. But with Szoboszlai moving to that right back goal, fair enough he scored in the Champions League tonight, but I'm looking towards Gakpo for more chance of an attacking threat, and that's why he's in the midfield. Erling Haaland and Thiago complete my starting 11. We're going to start off with the big Norwegian, no explanation needed. If you've already used your free hit and you have your triple captaincy available, this is the week to use your triple captaincy on Erling Haaland. And then on to Thiago of Brentford, 9 goals so far for the Brentford man. They're calling him the penalty king in the FPL community. Fair enough, he missed one against Brighton last week. Fingers crossed he can get amongst the attacking returns when he's in my team this week. So looking at my free hit team there, when you compare it to my original team, definitely on paper it's a lot better compared to my original team. Triple Villa at home to Wolves, triple Man City at home to Leeds, triple Liverpool away to West Ham, and double Brentford at home to Burnley. I prefer that to the likes of having 4 players in that Crystal Palace and Man United game, 2 Arsenal away to Chelsea, and Ndiaye at home to Newcastle. That's why I'm leaning towards locking in my free hit this week. So as I said, I'm currently not locked in on my free hit, but I am leaning towards activating it. I think I'm going to wait until Saturday afternoon before the deadline, where we will get some team leaks before I activate and lock in my free hit. If you haven't made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit the like goal of 70 likes on this video, and if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We are currently on the road to 10k subs, and fingers crossed we can get there this season. I'll see you all on Saturday afternoon at a later time on Saturday morning, because it is a 1:30 deadline, so we'll probably start the stream around 11 o'clock, so hopefully you'll join us then. Thanks for watching, best of luck for the week, I'll see you in the next video.